Hello, I'm John Farrell. I was head of economics at Merchants. I eventually became head of sixth form. I was here between 1989 to 2016.
My name's Steve Kay. I came here in 1997 to teach economics with John. When I turned up here, the headmaster said he couldn't guarantee me a job for the rest of my life teaching economics, and I'm still here. And when John became head of sixth form, I took over as head of economics in 2007.
Well, I arrived in September '89. It's my fifth school. And what hit me immediately was the standards set. I'd worked in very good schools elsewhere. But I remember within 2 weeks being told off by the deputy headmaster. In those days I was in the TA, and we were going away on an exercise. I thought, get me hair cut short. Came in Monday morning, and the deputy headmaster, Mr. Judge, came up to me and said, we can't have your hair looking like that. You look like a US Marine. And he was quite right, because the boys would copy you. Second time he told me off was wearing my whites teaching economics. So I realised very quickly that the school had very high standards, and of course that then egged you on to teach the quality, the standards required. And I thoroughly enjoyed working here for 27 years. First year as well, took the hockey team away. I ran second 11 hockey. But I took the first team to the Isle of Man. We got stuck there. The weather turned. I remember phoning the headmaster on the Monday morning and said, the boat hasn't sailed. We're still in the Isle of Man. What do you want me to do? And he said, give him a lesson.
I remember coming here, and I've only ever worked in this school because I went into teaching late. So I only had my comprehensive that I went to compare this school to. And I've always told the boys that I've taught over the last 24 years here how lucky they are to come here. Because I think I would have done a lot better in school myself without my father pushing me constantly if I'd come somewhere like here, because it's just another level really. When I eventually leave here, it's, I remember the staff in the school, but it's the boys that we've taught down the years, some very, very able, academically able boys. I don't think we've taught anybody that we haven't liked. That doesn't come into it, they've all been good, well, maybe the odd one or two. We won't mention any names, but I mean, when you think about it, I was trying to tot it up the other day there. In the 24 years that the both of us were teaching here, we have taught nearly 1,100 A-level economics students, which, is quite something really. That's
the one thing I miss, having retired. The banter, the camaraderie with the lads. You walk in the sixth form centre and say that European Super League, and we chat, be football chat or weekend chat. Yeah, that's what me. I miss that. Oh, sorry, I miss my colleague as well. His happy-go-lucky, his smiling face, a coffee. We'd be sitting there, and two other chaps I miss. Sorry, three. Obviously, Mr. Slemon. But he didn't come up for coffee. The two came up for coffee was Mr. Little and Mr. Robinson. And of course, me and Mr. K always finished our lessons a few minutes early. We'd get up there, and the reason we did that... I still work here. We did that because we get up there and Mr. Little's plate would be stacked high of toast. And Mr. Robinson would be sitting and we'd have a giggle between us. Mr. Slemon sometimes would come up and join in the giggle, but he was always too busy with the rugby. Mr. Robinson, Mr. Little, they went too early as well, as Mr. Slemon did as well.
And I think I'm always amazed about the high esteem that we're held in by the boys that we've taught. I've been walking, a couple of years ago, I was walking through Southport in Lord Street in Southport with my wife, my mother and father, who were still around at the time, probably 3 or 4 years ago, and all of a sudden somebody said, "Hello sir, how are you?" And I turned round, and it was an old boy I taught, and his wife and his 2 children, and he's still calling me, "Hello sir, how are you?" And all he wanted to do was talk. But I'm always, I think it's so amazing that we've taught so many boys that still want to speak to us, basically. After the stick we gave them down the years.
And buy us a drink as well.
And buy us a drink. Yeah, that's important.